This video shows footage between Bishop Auckland and Leholme on Stage 3 of the Cycling Tour of Britain 2022.
We allow Perry to roll through.
A bit of a rise to the line here.
Richard's seeming like the most committed now in this move. He's in the front, he really gives off the impression that he's really piling pressure on.
Well, it's his idea, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, he looks very strong as well, doesn't he, Alex?
Yeah, he does.
So Parsons has got Ben Perry, his most immediate rival for these 3 bonus points, right on his wheel as if he's leading him out. There's the finish line of the sprint. Perry looking over his left-hand shoulder just to check the intentions of the other riders. There's nothing too incentivising for them, and they're sharing the bonus seconds. That's interesting. So that's leveled things out now.
Yeah.
Perry picks up second place and 2 bonus seconds. That moves him to 9 seconds down in the GC, and so too is Paskins, who picked up second place at the 3rd and has won this sprint. So both riders have improved their GC standings by the same amount, and both of them are now on 9 seconds.
Well, that's very symbolic of the unity in this group.
Absolutely.
It's as if they've formed an alliance that is completely loyal to each other. And that's the only way this is going to work, and that's interesting, because that does mean that these 4 riders really are committed to working together to help each other, and they know if they don't do that, there's no chance of this working, and it's rare you see a move like this just so unified.
Yeah, that said, David, we've only got 10 kilometres until the final sprint, and then that might be different because they're level now on GC, and if this group stays away and does come to the line together, one of them is going to stick to. That flag is hanging there past the Army Reserve Centre there, limply from the flagpole. There's no evidence of any wind as they pass through this little town. Well, it's Bishop Auckland. They're just passing through for the sprint. And the treetops don't appear to be moving particularly. So right here where they are, very little winds to play with, and they need that tailwind if this tactic is going to come off.
Yeah, they need it to be a strong tailwind as well, not just a light breeze.
Yeah. So there needs to be a gale, ideally. Just a little bit taking that corner a little bit gingerly, just closes the gap again. Alex Richardson. Some dog walkers have timed their afternoon stroll to perfection. As the race passes underneath that pedestrian footbridge and out of Bishop Auckland, back out into open territory, heading for Ferry Hill. Travelling in a predominantly easterly direction now. Before the switch, the all-important switch of direction, a few kilometres after the next intermediate sprint at Ferry Hill. That is the point in the race that we verbally, literally heard Alex Richardson identify, talking about the final intermediate sprint and then the final 40 kilometres. His entire race tactic has been based around that switch of direction, and I think the slender chance. way, still doing what they're doing. Alex Richardson at the back there, just looking up the line, marshalling his troops, keeping these four still believing that they've got a chance here. 51.6 kilometres to go. Last time we had an accurate time gap, it was around about 2 minutes and 46 seconds. The rain falling as heavily as ever now. They've left behind them Bishop Auckland, and they're moving towards Ferry Hill. The last intermediate sprint with those 3 bonus seconds potentially for one of these riders is at Ferry Hill at 47.8 kilometres to go. A lot of dogs out for walks in this wet, rainy conditions today in the northeast.
It's hard to tell. See, it could be just post the deluge there that the wind dropped. It might pick back up again, but it's not looking very blowy out there at the moment.
It isn't, is it? It does look like the wind has dropped away. Gordon Hansgrohe at the back. Conversations between Niels Pollitt and his DS.
Niels Pollitt, he was quite active at the beginning of today's stage.
Yeah, he was.
Which was the first time we've actually, and some of his teammates as well, Shane Archibald. It was interesting to see Bora Hansgrohe actually get involved, and that did trigger a few of the other World Tours.
Well, I'm hearing on race radio, David, that the time gap has gone out to 4 minutes and 13 seconds.
Wow.
It's just imparted on race radio. So we'll just hold fire, but race radio is normally accurate.
Yeah, well, there you go. So that's jumped up. So this is really interesting because we haven't heard that on race radio for the last 20 Ks.
Yeah.
It's been showing 2 minutes 50.
Yeah.
So the peloton's just been caught out. So they'd have been riding thinking it was 250, 255.
Okay, that changes a lot, doesn't it? That really does.
That's going to be a shock to the system. They'll have just heard that now as well.
So much of the race tactics do determine on the information flow around the race, and if they were as caught out as we were by that, which it looks like they might have been, then something's going to have to change now.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Okay, well that changes everything now. 4 minutes 30 at this point.
Yeah, that's
with 4 freshish riders. Oof.
I mean, that's just been allowed to happen, hasn't it? By the absence of information on the screen. Well, Dowsett and Hollenstein just ticking along at what they thought was a perfectly controlled pace.
It's the dream scenario for those 4 riders. I mean, Alex Richardson's a great plan, but often you need a bit of luck, and that is a blind bit of luck.